So the real question is, what did y'all think about Raw? That's what we're talking about today on Wrestling with Ski. And I thought it was alright. And there were some points where, probably could have been, done better. But, you know, it is what it is. I mean, I did like it, like a lot of it, though. I mean, like, started out, we got to see, there's MVP and Lashley. And again, Lashley suddenly, like, oh, look, he can talk. MVP, we all know he can talk. And if they weren't doing good at all this, they kind of wouldn't be where they are right now, in the position that they're in, getting all these shots. I mean, think of where they were at this point, like last year. And look at it now. Like, it's a great thing. Um, if Miz and Morrison, again, granted, like, I get it, but if Miz had stopped coming around, Morrison, and whatever Morrison's doing with his hair as well, there's just something weird about that. But he comes out and does the normal Miz stuff, which again, I'm not bashing him at all. He's great on the mic. Anyone that tries to say he isn't great on the mic, they're lying. The man can talk. The man can talk like, up there in the best people to ever run their mouth and do that. Because he can do it great. And he comes out making all of his excuses and this, that, and the other that you all expect. And, shocker. But I mean, he sits there, he complains, he gets excuse, makes his excuses, la da 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 da. McIntyre gets involved. Yeah, basically, it says what we all, thought. It says that, him and Bobby both came far, and they did. I mean, look, like, where, like, Drew was at the beginning, and that motion where he was straight down, like, boom, the 3MB to gone. Lashley had this thing, and he left and went and did, strike force and all kinds of stuff. And they both made, one's a 16-year journey, the other one was a 17-year journey. I mean, there's a lot of similarities for them to get to the top. And Drew did make a good point. I mean, I went through all the other, 29 men and won the Royal Rumble to get my shot and beat Brock Lesnar. And the only reason you have the title is because you cut a deal with The Miz so that he could beat me and then you could squash him. Which I mean, it's a very valid argument. I mean, and Drew, he's, really good on the mic. Then he kept, questioning, why is MVP still around talking for him? Because obviously, boom, Lashley can talk, which is true. Like where in the world did that come from? It's one of those situations. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. I don't think some, ragging on the guy. Like, I didn't think he could talk. Like, he barely ever did. But he can. And he did threaten to, hurt Miz, did Drew. I'm going to turn around in this conversation, you attack me, whatever, yada, yada, yada. And that would lead to, it would turn out to be a match. And, if that's what you want to call it, really. But before it happened, Lashley attacks Drew from behind. Then Lashley, makes his way up the ramp. MVP still down by the ring at the bottom of the ramp. Enters Sheamus to attack Lashley from behind. Because he wants, Drew to be at 100%, so he has no excuses. So then he can go on to Mania and face Lashley and call, all that. And doesn't want there to be any excuses or any of that stuff, which, makes sense. Why would you go along with the story, Even though Drew has beat him twice, but to go along with that. I mean, it all, and them having another match. I mean, if they go back and have like the match, think about the first one they did a few weeks ago on Raw, like opening it up, and look how long they went and the damage they did to one another. Think what they could do if they have the opportunity to just let it rip on a pay-per-view, where there's no commercials, There's no anyone missing anything. There's none of that. I mean, think about that. So I think it'll be really good. And then again, I said, there was a match. Morrison, got thrown out with whatever the hell was going on with his hair. And Miz got some in, but, Drew ended up winning with the Hurt Lock. Obviously, make a point to Lashley for, they head into their match at Mania, which we all know is going to happen, but I mean, it's just thinking of that. Like, Miz getting that title, having it for, like, they went through all that storytelling, everything with Otis and the Money in the Bank. For him to get it, for them to split up Tucker and Otis and have Tucker be the one that cost Otis, and then Miz gets to be champion for 5 seconds. And then he's just getting run over. In his rematch, he gets run over against Drew. I mean, like I said it weeks ago, it's going to be those two against, Bad Bunny and, Damian Priest. Just have this feeling that's how it's going to go. Doesn't mean that's how it's going to go, but I just got one of those strange feelings that that's what they're going to do. And now that, Bad Bunny isn't the 24/7 champion because he handed it over to Truth after Truth gave him, like a lunchbox and a doll and the Smoking Skull belt on his little It's 316 day, they could lead to something with that. So we'll have to see what they do. Just like we're going to have to wait and see what they do with Shane and Braun, because Braun calls him out. They're going to have, a match at Fastlane. I mean, and Shane pummeled him as he was, Braun got controlled, went and do his thing. Shane hit him with the camera, kept hitting him, did the elbow drop through the announce table, did his thing, and then dumped green paint all over him. So it's going to happen. I want to see how they're going to play it out and do it, if it's going to drag out to Mania. I mean, I just don't like the fact that this could be a second straight year where they have nothing for Strowman at Mania. We had a match last year. Yeah, if Roman didn't back out, literally at the last second, Braun literally had nothing, and he was actually just drove home, he said, to his property, 20 hours away when he found out, hey, what, you kind of need you, buddy. Change your plans. So, now they're doing this with Shane. I mean, I think it'd be a waste if they wasted him that way. I mean, could just be me. I don't know. I just don't want to see it get all stupid. Or him not have a match. How many people find matches for? I mean, 2 straight years if him not having one scheduled again. If one for circumstances last year, he wouldn't have been there against Goldberg to win the title. So, it'd be 2 straight. I think that's just a giant waste, and I mean, gotta wait and see what they do. I don't know. I don't get it. How'd they do it all? I just hope they do something better for Braun. I think him and Shane will be able to tear the place down just because of what Shane can do and all that. Shane's like AJ. I mean, he still had a good match with Kurt Angle way back when. Granted, he was in there with Kurt, but Shane always pulls off something. He always finds a way, no matter who he's been out there with, so I think it'll be okay. Wait and see. And then we got to see Mandy and Dana Brooke go against Naomi and Lana. With, Nia and Shayna at ringside, of course, doing their thing. It's about as much as you expected out of it. The excitement, Asuka, comes back and just mauls Shayna, which then leads to them having a match later in the night. And I want to see what they're going to do with that, just to have her come back. I mean, I get the 2 thing, but see what they're going to do. If they're really going to lose the titles on Sunday, then that leaves the door open for Asuka and Shayna at Mania, how they're going to do that, because that's the only thing that makes sense with them having, I mean, using what happened and like dragging it out. Like I'm really looking forward to see what they're gonna do with all that. It's one of those. Yeah, because I just like Asuka. I mean, like her matches, like all of it. I want to see what they're gonna do with it. You never know. I mean, but we haven't heard anything about the Raw Women's Championship in WrestleMania at all. So they could turn it into something really, really good. They could be really, really bad. I mean, we have to wait and see what they're gonna, do that with that for her, for the whole women's thing. Like, 'cause it can't be a WrestleMania without all the titles getting done, especially two nights. Like they have to so. Hopefully they just don't do something stupid. Hopefully they do something really, really good for the run that Asuka's been on. She deserves it, and she can. I mean, she's fully beyond capable of having a really good match with anyone. So if this is how they're going to set everything up. Those two lose or whatever. See what they're going to do. It's it's just weird. So let's see how that works out. And then I was wrong. I'll openly admit it because when I mentioned the Hurt Business defending against the New Day, I mean, I said the Hurt Business has to get it. What? Like, look at them, Bobby and with their biggest thing going, and then they had them lose last night, lose the titles to Kofi and Xavier, and give the New Day another title run. Enter AJ and Amos. Obviously, a challenge for Mania to have those guys, but you could have let the Hurt Business do it, and if that's how Amos and AJ are going to do it, let them do it. Let them win. I just, because it'll be more popular, I guess, than having the Hurt Business out there at Mania. But they were probably one of the top things going all year, through COVID, through everything, like the Hurt Business was. So I don't know why they'd have them lose the belts to them, but they did. So I mean, got to see how that works. Like, it still doesn't make any sense to me, but we'll see. I mean, we will see. I just don't want them to do something, obscenely stupid with it all. But again, they could have done it with the Hurt Business. I don't know why they had to have They could have find a way to have the New Day be a part of it without that. It's a New Day. You can have them do anything. They're over. People like it. Didn't have to go and have them win the belts again. Even though, I mean, for where they've been for all these years, it makes complete and utter sense. But have them win the titles there, I mean, think if that AJ and Amos win, it's way more believable. Obviously, he could beat anybody. But, I don't know. I don't get that one. Or Jackson Riker having a match against Damian Priest with obviously Elias and Bad Bunny around, and I mean, it really wasn't even a match. Damian Priest got it, Riker lost. Miz hit Bad Bunny in the back with a guitar. And then again, like I said just a few minutes ago, I've been feeling that one for a couple weeks since he showed up and turned the Miz down. That's what they were gonna do, is have Priest and Bad Bunny against Miz and Morrison. I'm just happy that I was right, that I called it, and they're still going. They're playing it well. They're doing their thing. We'll see how it all works out. I just Riker in that figured he would have had a better match than that. After Elias and Priest, Priest, he's been putting on matches with people. I mean, he had a good one with Angel Garza that made Angel Garza look really good. And that was just boom, let's just get in, get out, call it a day with that thing. And doesn't make much sense to me. Just like the New Day winning the belts. I get Mandy and Dana against Naomi and Lana, because, I mean, what other women's tag teams do they really have on Raw to foot the bill to be any kind of competition to the women's tag team champions? So, I mean, Let's see how that one plays. I mean, I get that. Wish they had more talent, but I mean, they have the talent. I mean, that's it. They have the talent. People they've signed that are like way back there that they aren't using. Like, it's so easy to do it that way, but they just don't. So that's a damn shame. But and then that gets us into another thing that doesn't make any sense, which is the whole retribution thing. Like, what are they doing with that to have, like, Ollie gets a shot at Riddle, Riddle wins, like, because T-Bar jumped up, tried to strike the referee, that backfired, at least I think it was T-Bar, and Riddle hits the Bro Derek, and boom, it's done. So what are they going to, like, are they going to have them finally go against each other and just implode, like, retribution, or what are they going to do with that? Well, I didn't like it from, like, word one. Ask Drew or anyone, like, talk to me about wrestling. I never liked retribution. It's never my thing. I went, I thought it was too close to the cuff with everything going on. And then, well, they went from doing that to slapjack and T-bar. And yeah, that stuff. So, I don't know. Yeah, it's just not my thing to do. But I'm sure if they're still doing it, someone has to like it out there. I just never have. Because, again, too close to home for the rioting and all the stuff that was actually happening. People were really dying in it. So I had a problem with just that. Solely that. Which I think is a fair thing to have a problem with it. And then again, they named everybody and started doing it. And, well, boom, I guess is really it. Like, it's just done. And that brings me up to the last one. I know Sheamus and Lashley, had their thing, but I mean, yeah. And they talk about, we all know it's it's just Fastlane. We all saw it. The big thing I want to talk about, though, more than the main event, no offense to them, is Randy, laughing about everything and all the stuff that's happened. We show, a lot of it again, because, we have to keep reminding everyone what happened week to week with that, and I'm okay with that. And Alexa challenges him to a match for, like, the pay-per-view, like, at Fastlane. They were sitting there wondering what they were going to do with it, what we were going to do with it, when we were going to finally see The Fiend come back. And we have our answer. See, now look, now I'm alive. I'm stoked about that. That was the best thing they had going. Alexa's phenomenal. She's doing a great job with it. Again, whatever she's touched, she's done good. But she was manager, for Blake and Murphy at NXT. The Goddess, Alexa Bliss, Just stuff that she did with Nikki when she was all like, yay, And now this, like, she's been good at all of it. And now we finally have the answers when The Fiend's going to come back, so we can finally start building this for Mania. And I just hope that they don't screw it up. And after that, they let The Fiend be the one, go over and get one on Randy after he lost the title to Randy at Mania 2 years ago. And, like, let him just do it and flip it. And they could have a great match. I mean, Randy is, again, he's one of those that can have a great match with anybody. But they have been building this for weeks and weeks without, like, them even, like, really being there with one another. You see them on TV monitor. She's in the corner one time. Her swing set. I mean, like, without them physically having to be, like, in the ring doing stuff. They're telling a great story and building it great. Like some, look at it's like Heyman. And he was the advocate for Brock. And we never saw Brock, ever. But Heyman can get in there and talk and do stuff and just keep the story going, keep people vested and interested in it, and keep building it without ever seeing Brock. Which, that's what Alexa's doing in this situation, man. Just all the stuff that they're doing backstage and all that. Like, it's making everyone want to watch, and it's amazing. And I can't wait to see what they're going to do with it. It's going to be a super good time. But, that being said, hopefully you guys watch her off. If you didn't, do what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back and watch it just to see if I missed anything, because I'm sure I did. Little just nuances and stuff. Don't forget, Fastlane's on the network on Sunday, and Peacock, which I did make my subscription to Peacock, so it's official, but it's there. Tomorrow I got a really exciting thing. Stuff that I want to talk about, which I think will be great. Super excited about it, actually. It's a good topic that I don't think a lot of us don't even notice in the world of wrestling. Talk about enough. But that's coming up, so like, share, comment, follow, tell me what you think, tell me what you want me to watch. Um, Follow Down to Wrestling with Ski on Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, and Spotify. It's officially on Spotify. He's got to re-record some stuff to get some of the episodes on there because they're too long. But yeah, all that. Tell me what you think. I appreciate y'all. And until tomorrow, my friends, peace.